I just got this package in the mail and I wanted to share it with you guys. This is a lightsaber from the company called Hey Sabers. They promise that they have some of the most amazing lightsabers on the market. And when they contacted me to ask if I would be interested in checking one out, I jumped at the opportunity. This is exactly how it comes. That's why I wanted to do kind of an opening video to show you how the packaging is done. And everything is packed away. There's for charging. These are the screws that we're going to be using to mount the blade to the saber. Here's our instruction manual. Here's our charging cable. Here is the hilt. And this has a great weight to it. You can tell that it is made out of actual steel. And just looking through the bag, I am already beyond excited. Look at the detail of this. This thing is freaking cool. They even did the heat look on the end of it to show that the saber would have been burning on this. And oh man, this just looks so right. Anyway, let's set that down. We also have the saber inside of the case. And the last thing it looks like we have here, this is going to be a display case. So we will quickly assemble that. Let's set the case out of the way. And I'm not sure what this is, but we're going to find out in just a few minutes. Let's start with peeling off the protective film from the display stand. And oh, I love acrylic. Assembles real quick and easy, and obviously we're going to be laying the saber across this once it's fully assembled. Get all the protective film off the saber blade. Now, from what I see, this piece is a diffuser, and if you wanted to, you could just drop it in and then turn the light on. And you know what? Just for grins and giggles. Ooh, I love that. That's freaking cool. And that's what I was talking about, how it's a diffuser. It's just to show you, like, say, if it was malfunctioning without a blade. But anyway, let's go ahead and turn that back off. Now let's slide that diffuser back out and let's go ahead and install the blade. To install, we got to get the screws that come with this, and we're going to be using an Allen wrench, and we got to put 3 of them into the hilt. Once the set screws are in, I just want to show you how deep this is. This goes way in there. And there's a series of little dots, if you will, spring-loaded connectors that are going to be pushing against the end of this saber blade. So when you go to put this together and install it, what you want to do is kind of slide it in, then pull it up just a little bit. That way you know you're going to be getting a good connection. And then you're going to tighten all your set screws down and in place. With that all screwed together, let's give it a little... Oh, is this thing cool or what? Oh, I love how it's pulsing up the blade and you got the nice color. And this is a dueling saber, guys, so you can actually fight people with this. I think that's pretty cool that when you hit things, it actually changes the color of the blade, and then you can hear the effects down here from the hilt. And this thing is fully programmable. There's 2 different ways you can control your saber. For example, in the instruction book, it's showing you a bunch of different ways to control it with hand motions and with the button on the hilt. To give you an example, you can do a simple twisting motion to turn the blade on and also back off. You can also just simply push on the button on the hilt and it will come on, push and hold it, and it'll go back off. Now let's take a look at some of the ways we can control this in the app. To give you an example of what I'm talking about, this is the app. It's Xeno, Xno. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but you can come in the app and we can easily just turn the blade on and off by the press of a button. We can turn it on and we can change the color and just pull it around and move it any which way we want. Once you like it, you can just simply go back. You can change the style of color. So in this example, the blade is actually constantly changing through all the colors.
Color selected.
Now we've picked the color we want. We can do a blaster effect.
Please recharge.
And then now it's showing me that it's dead, so obviously we need to throw a charge on it. And it's probably a good idea that happened because now I can show you how you would charge this. This actually pulls apart in a few different ways. We can twist the base off though, which is where we are getting access to the charging port. Now that we have the base off, we can take this over to my cell phone charger because this just uses any type of USB-C charging cable. But we're going to use the cable that came with it. Now I only charged it for about 20 minutes, but I just want to show you. I'm back up to 50% on the battery life. I think that's pretty impressive to note. But again, now we can turn it on with the push of a button, and we can turn it back off with the push of a button. Another thing that I think is really cool when you have this turned on is the effect that's happening on the blade is also happening on this little LED display as well. So it's showing you that there's that pulsing effect that is going on. I think it's even more noticeable when you're doing it with colors like blue and such. But there's so much other things you can do on this. You can change, you can do infinite bright, so that way it does a couple different effects when you're messing with it. So just to show you, as I push the button, it does different types of pulsing effects and things with the blade. And coming back, we can do a blast effect. And let me turn the volume up a little more so you can hear it. To turn the volume up of the blade, you push this sound bar here. And now you can see, I don't want it to be too loud, so we'll put it down around 50%. But now let's turn that back off. But anyway, you can do a clash effect. Let's go back to red, because I actually think that showed better on the colors. Okay, we can do a clash effect, which is the top button. We can do a blast effect. We can lock the blade. So like if you're locked up fighting with somebody, you can do a drag effect. You can do a force, like pulse of the blade as if they are doing something with the force. You can also come in through the app, and there's a lot of other things that you can really tweak as far as, like for example here, the motor speed. That's the vibration that's occurring in the handle. There's a little motor in there like there is inside your cell phone that gives you that little bit of vibration when you're holding it for things that are occurring. You can do a lot of different custom functions, a lot of different custom light effects, and you can even change the font on the app itself. And I have a couple different lightsabers, so you can see that even in this particular app, it's showing you that there's another lightsaber that's ready to be messed with also. All in all, I have to say this is one of the most impressive lightsabers I have ever seen. And I really don't buy many of them because they are usually quite expensive. So let's kind of quickly take a look at what the cost of one of these lightsabers is. Now what I'm showing you is the Master Saber set with glowing screen, and this is $439.99. Part of the reasoning for that price is, number one, I have the digital display on the hilt of the lightsaber. I also have the passcode carrying box to keep it secure, and I even have the optional stand to display it on. If you're any kind of Star Wars fan like I am, you are not going to be disappointed with this saber.